Welcome back to Let's Get Haunted with your host,
NataliaStrawn.
And Allie. You guys, do you see us?
Yeah, if you guys are hearing this, then you should know that there's also a video aspect to this episode.
There certainly is.
Allie and I are in our studio, and the cameras are on us.
Our studio.
I'm freaking out right now.
It's not our studio, you guys.
It's recording us right now.
It's recording. We're here. I'm very nervous. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
I brought my laptop, even though I'm not telling the story this week, because I was like...
I can't stop just staring at you.
Pretend to type.
My heart's racing.
I don't know. I can't stop looking at your boobs. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Natalia has big breastfeeding boobs right now, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, you guys.
We need to address it.
I made a choice when I was leaving the house today. I was like, okay, I could keep this like under wraps, or I could just really literally milk it.
There's no keeping that under wraps.
Yeah. So if we don't get views, then we just suck. I don't know.
We do.
Yeah. So if you want to see this video, you can go to our YouTube channel, Let's Get Haunted.
Correct. That is youtube.com/C/Let's Get Haunted.
And if you're watching this because you saw there were big boobs in the thumbnail, then we have a podcast called Let's Get Haunted. I'm NataliaStrawn.
I'm Allie with no last name because you guys can't behave yourselves. So now I have no last name.
And we host this podcast. It comes out every Wednesday. This is our first visual, probably the last two.
God, I hope so. This was really a to-do. Also, I have been awake since 4 a.m. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. so that I could come here and record this. I am very tired.
Right.
But I'm excited.
Yeah. We're getting lit tonight.
I know.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so we're going to tell, I'm going to tell Alyssa the story that you are seeing in the title. She doesn't know what the story is yet.
I don't know.
That is like the main component of our podcast. And we're also going to start this off with just talking about some bullshit about our personal lives for 15 minutes.
Now, there is a subset of you that gives zero shits about our personal lives, and that's fair.
Yeah.
We're not very interesting. So if you have a real big problem with this part of the podcast, you can skip to about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
I'll put the what is that called?
It doesn't matter.
Look in the description box. We'll figure it out.
No, this is already starting off so poorly.
Okay, let's cancel ourselves.
Yeah, okay, start over. Welcome back. No, just kidding. Don't do that. It's already started. It's too late.
Tell me your haunted story.
Yes. Okay, so this is the only haunted thing occurring in my life recently. I got a haunted medical procedure done. Are you ready to learn about this thing that I did not know existed until this year?
Wait, what is it?
Have you ever heard? I already know you're going to make a sexual joke, but it's not sexual. Have you ever heard of punctal plugs?
What's your punctal?
Your punctal is your tear duct.
What? So your tear duct got plugged?
Yes, correct.
And how does that happen?
Okay, so no, I got it plugged on purpose. So the autoimmune disease that I have attacks your lacrimal gland. I'm learning so much this year. Your lacrimal gland or something, which is like your tears.
Yes.
And so your eyes get really dry and it can lead to like going blind.
Oh, no.
And so, which I would prefer to avoid if I can.
Right.
Yeah. But so they put these things called punctal plugs, and they literally look like the tiniest butt plugs on earth.
Oh.
Like little tiny silicone plugs, and they just stick them in all four.
So you have plugs in your eyes right now?
I do, but one fell out yesterday, and it was very haunted. That is the point. This is my personal haunting for the week. Is one of my punctal plugs fell out into my eye while I was at work yesterday, and I could see it.
No.
And I was like,
is this like a microscope? How do they do this procedure? Are you out for this?
No, I wish.
Is it painful?
It's not painful. They numb your eye, like the entire eye, and then
how?
Eye drops, numbing eye drops, and it's freaky because it goes down your throat, and then your throat gets numb, and you're like, am I breathing? Am I not breathing? But you are breathing. It's fine. You just have anxiety because you're me.
Right.
And so then they like pull down your upper and lower lids, and they have to take this like little tweezer thing and like go like this to your punctal zone until it opens.
You got punked.
And you got punked. And then they stick this butt plug in. And,
wow.
And it's supposed to stop your tears from draining.
See, I wish I could have that so I could just stop crying.
No, but you still cry. That's the bullshit part.
Oh.
Because I asked him, I was like, so am I not going to cry anymore? And he was like, no, you can still cry because your gland is up here and the tears enter your eye on this side.
Who figures this out? Like, what person is the first person that's like, yeah, put these medical grade butt plugs in my eye, like my eye holes,
right?
And let's just see what happens.
You know, that's a great question. And we've raised this question time and time again on this podcast. For example, was it Sir Isaac Newton that was a virgin? And we were saying none of his math is valid because of that.
Oh, we can't say that.
We can't? Well, we did. So It's already been said on this podcast. You said it.
You said it.
You said it. You guys leave a comment below. It was Natalia, absolutely. Because there's no way I would know that the Apple Man was a virgin.
Who was that? Oh, you know what? Honestly, you guys, so... I am unmedicated right now. Normally I take my medicine for ADHD. I take it religiously every morning. I haven't been able to take it since I got pregnant, so it's now been 10 months. When you said Sir Isaac Newton, I thought you said psoriasis, and I was just I just started thinking about psoriasis for a really long time, and I really don't know what you were saying, and so...
in the grand scheme of things, it was completely unimportant, so I think that that's a better topic to switch to. Psoriasis, let's talk about it.
Let's not.
Okay.
You guys, I'm stressed out. This is awkward. I feel like you guys are listening, and you are realizing how, like, bad we're doing right now. If you listen to this podcast, you're like, why are they acting so awkward and weird? It's because we're being filmed right now.
We're hyper aware that we are on camera. However, this means we can do a nail cam. Natalia, have you seen these?
I was actually just looking at them. Those are amazing. Wow. Oh my gosh, they have little strawberries. Wow. You have outdone yourself, sir.
I have.
Look at mine.
I also saw yours on your Instagram. Yeah, they're beautiful. Should we do a nail cam? Here, let me do this. It'll be blurry. It'll be great.
Wait. Yeah. Those are fantastic. Okay, wait. I want to do one too.
You guys?
Are you guys happy that you're listening to this?
Yes. Also, we have two other people in the studio with us today. Mm-hmm. We have Cole, who is are you our sound engineer? Is that your engineer? Right. And then we have Tommy, who is our not ours. Yeah. I don't know why I'm saying ours.
I think we paid
to be here. This is just like a facility where if you have a podcast, you can pay and come here, and they will help you attain your goals.
But I like our intern,
right,
and our sound engineer.
Yes, correct. They're on our payroll.
Right. For this 2 hours. Which we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. Oh, shit. Do you have any personal hauntings this week?
Well, so I'm now past my 6 weeks. You're not supposed to do anything for 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to work out. You're not supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to do any of that stuff. And now I'm past that. And life is so much better. Let me say that life is so much better.
Returning to normal?
Returning to normal-ish, sort of. Today, I'm trying to ride my horse, you guys, and he's such a fucking asshole. Was he always like this?
Now? He's just like, you're no longer my owner, Chloe is.
Yeah, he's like, Chloe is, my trainer's his owner. He's just bucking and doing all this stuff, and I'm like a noodle. I don't have any abs right now. My abs completely separated when I was pregnant, so it takes a while for them to come back together. So you can't balance, Mm-hmm. I'm just not good at it. And everyone's looking at me, and it's really, I just feel awkward. I just feel so self-conscious right now.
Well, like I said to you before we started filming, welcome to the club. Most of us don't have abs. We're so happy you've joined us.
Yeah, you guys, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, just poor balance all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also having to suck it in for photos. That's my least favorite.
Right. I suck it in, but there's still a layer of fat on top of it that doesn't go anywhere.
It happens.
Right.
It happens as part of being a woman. Womanhood is just so lovely and beautiful. And
it is.
So many good things about it.
Transformative. Yeah. And you guys, I'm going to talk about my birth story, but I couldn't talk about it on this episode because what we're talking about has nothing to do with birth.
Yeah, that'd be random.
Yeah, it would be super random. And yeah, I'm not about that life. So.
Well, I would love to shout out our donors before I forget.
Yeah.
I would love to shout out Rachel G, Sarah M, Justin M, Dylan S, Kathleen S, Sonia B, Caleb A, Paige K, Sar, Alicia C, James in Durham, North Carolina, Leah, Lark, John, who was previously Bork, Joshua, Joshua twice. Thank you, Joshua. James R, and that's it. That's it for me.
I would like to shout out Gabby K, Alex Jang, Capri G, who was previously Peter Barker, Brielle S, Sydney M, Lindsay L, Taylor H, Toxic Lollipop, and Amy S.
Oh, real quick, you guys. Toxic Lollipop is the name of an Etsy shop. She sent us these really cute resin hearts that are pins.
One.
You're wearing it? Yes, you guys, you can get these for sale at her Etsy shop. I saw that she said she's going to donate some of the proceeds to us, but if you're listening to this Toxic Lollipop, you don't have to do that. You made these yourself. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I love them. I know I love mine. I put mine on my jean jacket and I didn't wear my jean jacket today.
I'm also wearing the earrings that we got.
Yes, those are super cute too.
But
I didn't wear them because I have a very tender head and I knew that we would have these headphones.
Yeah, I knew we would too, but I was like, I'm just going to slay for a small amount of time.
The last couple things I have on the docket for today is we are having new merch drop in July.
Yeah, and it's sick. Oh, and we're also having a filter on Instagram
That's
dropping.
right. I forgot about that. How
very
could I
soon.
forget? That was beautiful.
So
and
you guys,
it's themed. All of this stuff is themed for the summer. Now, I can't show you what I'm going to show Natalia, but I'm going to show her.
I mean, they're going to see it.
Well,
right?
We'll blur it. Or maybe not.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it gets better the more I look at it. Did you do this?
Well, I have no talent, so I didn't make it.
But did you
I
tell them what to do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. You guys, Allie did the merch this time, and she really outdid herself. This is amazing.
It's summer themed. It's going to be great.
It's great.
It's spooky. It's gross. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's sexual also.
Yes. It's
amazing.
All of the things that you come to love from our podcast. Like, do you want to throw up? Or do you want to motorboat Natalia's milk tits? It's really, you choose your own adventure on this podcast. We also have these stickers, but I'm not going to show them. Whatever. I'm HR. I'm allowed to say that you have big tits.
It's the opposite.
I know. This is your box of things to take home.
Oh, yay. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, yeah, we already did this.
We already unboxed these on a previous episode. I just hadn't given them to her yet.
Maybe I'll do like an IG live or something. You guys follow me on Instagram at @CAminals. We'll put both of our personals in the thing below.
That's right. I am at ThealTerry on Instagram or at DogMomUSA on Twitter. Speaking of at DogMomUSA, if you'd like to donate to us, you can do so on Venmo by Venmoing me at DogMomUSA. Or you can Venmo Natalia at NatStrawn, which is also her Twitter handle, I believe.
Yes.
And you can also donate to us by going to our website, which is letsgethaunted.com, where you can see some of the merch that we have left over from our spring collection. But it's going very quickly. I think we only have like two things left.
Yeah.
So you can just go on there and cry and see the sold out sign, and that's fine.
Just
More
give us some
coming.
traffic. Just
give
go
us
over
anything.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
but my point was, upper right-hand corner of our website is a donate button, and you can donate there.
All right, let's start this episode before we run out of time.
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready for this?
I did it. That was my first time pushing the nut button, you guys, and it was on camera. Did you like that?
The first time on camera, yeah.
No, I think it's my first time in general.
No, I remember you pressed it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I've blocked it out of my
every
memory.
time feels like the first time, doesn't it?
That's very true. Every nut feels like the first nut.
All right. So first off, I just want to say that I deserve some sort of medical compensation because I can't get any of the brain cells back that I used to research this episode. This is some real tin hat bullshit.
Oh, I love tin hat bullshit.
Yeah. And also, trigger warning, I feel like I shouldn't even have to say this anymore because it's just implied that anything we talk about is going to be triggering. Like, it's the whole point of this podcast.
Right.
We all have issues. We're just trying to get haunted. But for legal reasons, I'm just going to say trigger warning. Oh my gosh, I almost got canceled. Okay, trigger warning. I also really went outside the scope of what I usually do to make this episode because it is visual. So can we play the music? Can you play it out loud so she can hear it too? Okay, amazing. Or is it just going to come in our headphones?
The headphones, I believe.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. They say that only...
Are you Liam Neeson for this episode?
They say that only the victors write history. That history is not grounded in facts, but rather it's the victors... Okay, sorry. Richter... Okay, let me start over. Can we start over?
Pause the music. Pause the music. I'm crying. I already feel like I'm in a fever dream. Okay. All right.
I'm literally
ready.
crying.
It's
Look
fine.
at my eyes right now. I'm crying.
I know.
Okay. Whew. I can't. I have to be
If
so
I start
serious.
crying, it's just going to run down my face because I have punctal butt plugs in my eyes.
I have to be so serious. Okay.
I'm trying not to cry. I'm not going to cry. It's fine. My eyes are dry.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
All right. Play the music again. Start from the top.
I'll look over here.
They say that only the victors.
Look over here.
Okay. Well, okay. They say that only. I don't know if we can play the music. We might just have to put it in post because we can't stop.
First of all, is this
Pause the
royalty-free music? Did you even check?
I think so.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm not sure.
We're not monetized anyway. Who cares?
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm still gonna look over here.
All right. Maybe I should just do it without the music and put it in post.
Okay.
All right. Let's try it one more time.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna take these off so I can't
All right.
hear the music.
I'm gonna think about something else.
Is it playing? Okay.
Okay. I'm
They
ready.
say that only the victors write history. That
fine.
history is not grounded in facts, but rather it's the victor's interpretation of those facts that gets written down and preserved.
Mhm.
The victors can choose what narrative history will follow. Who won a war? Who ruled justly? Who was a saint? Who was a liar? Who was a criminal? Who was right and who was wrong are all chosen by the victors. But what about who was real? How do we interpret history if we can't trust it?
Okay.
This is the story of history itself. Who created it, who crafted it, who lived it, and who died for it. Okay, that's my intro.
All right. And then, like, the walls of Great China fall down in the background of this cinematic masterpiece.
All right. It's March 23rd of 1843. It's a warm day in Iraq while Paul Emil Bata is busy overseeing the excavation of a mysterious plot of land near Khorzabad. Paul has a hunch that he has bet his professional career on, Allie.
Oh.
You see, Paul was the son of a distinguished historian, but he was educated as a physician. A year prior, Paul had secured a job acting as consul at Mosul, modern-day Nineveh, Iraq. The city of Mosul was rumored to be built on the ruins of Nineveh, an ancient Assyrian city. Assyria was an empire of long ago, only living on through conflicting accounts of ancient writers from biblical references. It was a civilization which might have never even existed as far as Paul's peers were concerned. But if it did exist, it would have began as early as the 25th century BC and collapsed somewhere around 612 BC. Many years had passed between the death of the rumored Assyria and the birth of modern-day Iraq, yet Paul Emil Bota was determined to find the ancient cities of Assyria. After a week of digging, as if by some twist of fate, the ancient remains of an Assyrian city were unearthed for the first time in over 1,230 years. The great palace of Sargon was revealed, and with its famed winged creatures, gigantic sculptures, and an abundance of Sumerian cuneiform inscriptions.
Giant winged creatures?
Yes. Paul had done it. He had found Assyria. He knew his life would never be the same. But the discoveries were just beginning.
Oh.
Eager to uncover more, and encouraged by the finding of the Palace of Sargon, the government financed further excavation and even sent an artist to make on-site drawings of the remains, as some tended to disappear immediately upon discovery.
Okay.
Additionally...
Sounds like theft.
No, like they dissolved.
Oh, they dissolved. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, was it theft?
Sounds like theft.
Okay, you guys comment below if you think it was theft or they literally dissolved. I thought for some reason they literally dissolved.
No, it sounds like what they're saying is the archaeologists unearthed these artifacts and then they just disappeared. Like somebody walked off with them.
You guys, I
sold them
literally
on the
thought
black
that they were
market.
so old that like when they uncovered them, they dissolved.
Oh, I mean, you could be right.
This really changes our story.
Oh, no. Is it no longer haunted?
It's still haunted.
Okay.
Additionally, after reviewing the cuneiform inscriptions, translators were shocked to learn of an even older civilization. The cuneiform inscriptions told of the world's oldest civilization, and within it, a group of powerful beings called the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki!
Allie, have you ever heard of the Anunnaki?
Yes, and I'm so glad you asked, because this gives me the perfect opportunity to once again plug Nancy Drew PC games. Nancy Drew PC games are the best PC games on earth. They're not a sponsor. I wish they were. I actually DM'd them last year, and I was like, can you please sponsor us? And they never even responded.
Right.
But they have a whole series of very entertaining point-and-click detective games where you are Nancy Drew. And in one of those games, it's like all based on the Anunnaki and Egypt. So yeah, it's like it's my understanding. And again, these are like children's games, so perhaps it was dumbed down. But my understanding is the Anunnaki are like an alien race that came and visited Earth and helped build certain civilizations.
Wow.
Is that correct?
Actually, the Anunnaki, so we're going to cue Exhibit A, please. Exhibit A, if you will look here.
Okay,
or
I'm
look
looking.
on your screens.
I'm
Alyssa,
looking.
you want to describe what you're seeing? This is carved into some of the artifacts that were uncovered.
Wow, it's very beautiful. Very detailed. It looks like a stone carving, perhaps. There are 3 different sort of like person-like figures, but I wouldn't necessarily call them people, because the one on the far left has these big giant angel or bird wings.
Right.
And then the 2 on the right don't appear to have those wings. And behind them, you can see a river with fish in it. There's a big hawk swooping in at the top. Oh, and a little guy. I didn't even see him.
Yeah.
Look at him peeking out. And he
right.
has a big knife.
Yeah.
He looks
a big boy.
You know, and they got beards. The 3 human-like figures have gnome beards and are wearing togas.
So these are just some of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
The Anunnaki is actually just a term that's used by archaeologists to describe what we understand to be the Sumerian gods, or the pantheon of deities that were worshipped by the ancient Sumerians. So this is actually an Akkadian cylinder seal that dates back to 2300 BC, which depicts the deities Inanna, Utu, and Enki, which are 3 members of the Anunnaki. However, the actual translation of the word Anunnaki is sky people, or another way to look at it would be those who are connected with the stars.
Wow.
Now, Allie, what does that sound like to you?
It sounds like someone that's really into astrology or an alien.
It does.
Doesn't
it sound like that?
It sounds like an alien.
It sounds like both of those.
I love aliens.
So the Anunnaki have an interesting etymology. It's actually not interesting. It's just a fact. That's what etymology is, right?
Okay.
So the Anunnaki are believed to be the offspring of An and his consort, who is the earth goddess Ki. And the oldest of the Anunnaki was Enlil, who is the god of air and the chief god of the Sumerian pantheon. So the Sumerians believed that until Enlil was born, or air, that heaven and earth were inseparable. It was like one mass. And then Enlil cleft heaven and earth in 2 and carried away the earth, where his father carried away the sky. So literally the Sumerians believed that air separated earth and sky, sort of like our earth was just a rock in space until an atmosphere was formed, right? Now, the purpose of these Sumerian gods, the Anunnaki, was to decree the fates of humanity, or they just basically created mortal life and presided over it, like a typical just god stuff, right? They were seen as the creators or givers of civilization to mortal kind, and they're remembered as having an all-knowing and otherworldly feel. They are gods, after all.
Oh.
But what if they weren't gods?
I don't know. What if they weren't?
What if they were refugees from another world? Ancient Sumerians may be the only ones who know the answer to this hypothetical question.
This reminds me of the Black Knight satellite episode where we talked about the possibility of that planet that was trying to, like, that was sending out an SOS signal because they wanted to be refugees on a planet, and then we got the message too late.
It's all connected.
It is all connected.
Or is it?
Were those the Anunnaki?
It could be. So you might be thinking to yourself right now, okay, well, these Assyrians were probably just a bunch of ancient hillbillies who couldn't even not get destroyed. Like, they didn't even have a way to get, like, an accurate historical reference written about them. So why should we believe anything they say?
Okay.
Well, that's super insensitive of you.
I didn't say it.
Because the Assyrian civilizations were actually extremely accomplished and intelligent. And some of these artifacts are absolutely like awe-inspiring. They're huge in their construction and their stature. And just looking at them, you can see that this was a very intelligent and civilized ancient society. And we have the photos to prove it.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you some photos. The first one is an artist's drawing of the ancient Sargon being uprooted from the earth. So you can see them.
Okay.
Yep. And
looks like the Trojan horse almost.
But see how big those are compared to the people?
Yeah. Is that supposed to be living? Is that a living horse creature?
No. Okay. So when they uncovered Sargon, or this ancient Assyrian city or whatever, they had all these artifacts. Remember the giant winged creatures and stuff like that? So they like literally just dug down in the earth and found these like amazing giant statues.
Okay.
So this is the artist's rendition of that.
So this is an because they dissolved or disappeared or whatever. Maybe they flew up into space.
Right.
Okay, got you. Yeah, we don't know. It's
this
great. I love it.
Exhibit C is a rendering of the Palace of Sargon. So you can see how big it is.
Yeah, very intricate.
Right? Yeah, that looks like an intelligent civilization, correct?
Correct.
And then the next photos down here, this is another rendering which shows you just for size. There's like some little deer in the middle. There's another one if you go down a little bit more. This is a digital rendering at nighttime just to set the mood.
Gorgeous.
Right? Beautiful. And then these photos are from the Louvre in the department.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, of Near Eastern antiquities. And so you can see like these are the actual things that they uncovered that are at the Louvre now. So there's one more underneath this one. You can just see, just the sheer size of these things.
Wow.
So my point is that this is like a really impressive civilization.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reason that we have these is because upon hearing the news of Paul-Émile Botta uncovering Assyria, Paris, France, where the Louvre is, requested the sculptures and artifacts to be put on exhibit at the Louvre. And ironically, in an effort to share this with the world, some of the antiquities were sunk on their way to Paris. So we don't even have all of them, but one of the shipments luckily made it, and it's this one. And I don't know, it's almost
sunk
like
in the ocean?
It's almost like they didn't want to be discovered.
Yeah, for some reason when you first said that, I was thinking like a swamp situation, but that actually it makes more sense if they were on a boat that sank.
Right, because that's how you have to get things over there.
Right, I was thinking like just a haunted bog. But yes, these could be cursed is what I'm hearing.
Yes. So what do you think of this Palace of Sargon? What do you think of these photos? Just, waste some time.
Okay, so so definitely very, very impressive. Definitely looks like, well, first of all, this is, I could be totally wrong. I don't have a background in archaeology or whatever, or anthropology, but this is what comes to mind when I see these very intricate, beautiful statues that are purely for decoration. That to me indicates that this civilization has reached a level of comfortableness where now they can fund the arts. Yes. Because if you're just trying to survive, you're going to be like, everybody's a farmer, everybody builds a house, cobblestone, everybody's a gatherer, everybody's a hunter, you know what I mean? So when you start seeing things like these gorgeous statues that you can't just like naturally come out of the womb and know how to do that. You have to be able to practice. You have to have the free time, the tools.
Have that taught to you through like passed down through generations.
And there has to be a market for it. Somebody has to be paying for that. So you know that there has to be some level of ability to fund luxury goods.
Yes, could be. So that actually leads perfectly into my next point. The hallmark of an intelligent civilization, according to Wikipedia, so don't like come for me, you guys, according to Wikipedia, is urban development, social stratification, a form of government, and symbolic systems of communication such as writing. So this isn't some primitive culture. This is a whole ass civilization, okay? Okay, now let's fast forward in time. The year is 1970. A documentary film is nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature.
Oh.
This film is based on a book.
Was it National Treasure?
No.
Okay.
This was 1970.
That was a joke.
I can't concentrate, okay? I can't do two things at once.
Go ahead.
This film is based on a book of the same title written in 1968 by German author Erich von Däniken. The film begins by depicting cargo cults in the South Pacific after coming into contact with American planes during World War I. Do you know what cargo cults are?
Cargo cults?
Right.
I'm going to guess something that is carrying a lot of cargo, like a ship or a plane.
So actually, this could be its own episode. This is so fascinating. I had no idea what a cargo cult was until I read this sentence. So a cargo cult is a group of people, and they were who began to get goods from more technologically advanced societies, and then they believe that person from a more technologically advanced society is some sort of god or prophet who will come back and bring them more goods. Specifically, this happened in World War I. So there was this tribe living in the jungles of the South Pacific who have never been exposed to modern technology. And they're seeing all these American military planes fly overhead during World War II, also Japanese planes as well. And then the tribe in the documentary, as well as in real life, immediately begins making these bamboo effigies of planes that they're seeing flying overhead, and they believe these planes to be gods, and they wish for them to come back and visit, and they're worshiping this technology and things that they've seen in the sky. They even make these rudimentary landing spots for the planes, and they have rituals hoping for the gods to return. So then in the film, the narrator goes on to claim that it's likely that all religions began in a similar fashion, with a more technologically advanced society visiting and leaving a lasting impression.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yes. And then the viewer is presented with various ancient texts, architecture, and artwork, including the Bible, the pyramids, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the Nazca Lines. So basically what's happening in the film is they're saying, what if, all of the religions of modern time were just from this, society that we had never seen before coming to us,
totally, yeah.
And leaving goods. So upon its release in the U.S., this film grossed $25 million, which made it the 9th highest grossing film of 1970. Or wait, is that 25 billion? That might be 25 billion.
That's a lot of money either way.
Right. And this film popularized the theory that technologies and religions of many ancient civilizations were given to them by ancient astronauts who were welcomed as gods.
I love that.
Keep in mind, this is 1970, okay? We went to the moon in 1969. People were lit about this documentary, right? We wanted aliens. We wanted space culture.
Right.
We wanted everything. This was a haunted hit with the haunted crowd.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And so what's really cool about these cargo cults, I just want to go into them because I just think they're really cool.
Yeah, I think that is really, I'm actually still thinking about that. That is a really cool concept.
So the most well-known instance of a cargo cult actually occurred with the Melanesian Islanders in the years during and after World War II. And they got military equipment and supplies, which were airdropped, or it was literally cargo for the military. And then what happened is some of these American soldiers would get guides from the villagers or have them host or whatever, and then in return they would be like, hey, do you want some we've got a bunch of backpacks or a bunch of food or all this military equipment, do you want any of it? And just gave it to them. And so they were like, this is fucking awesome, right? I've never seen anything like this before. And so literally the cargo cult one of them was called the John Frum cult, which was where cult members worshipped this unspecified American whose name was John Frum. And there's another one called Tom Navy, and they claimed that John Frum and Tom Navy were gods, and they brought cargo to their island during World War II, and they were going to come back in the future. And there's a parade. These are still in existence today.
Oh, it still is a thing?
Can we show the photos? So these are some photos. Oh, yeah. So this is the John Frum cult gathering place.
Okay.
And then the next photo is the John Frum flags in the area. And you can see how different this is than what like American military is used to. Like that's like
Yeah.
literally a village in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't have any power lines. They don't have like a lot of like electricity. Like probably didn't have like the same like septic or any septic or any, you know what I mean? It's
well,
not.
they were isolated. They were
Right.
thriving, but they were thriving in a way that happens when you're on and like you're literally on an island.
Right.
You don't have people just passing through, giving you shit or
Yeah.
like coming to live there. There's no like immigration.
Right.
There's no mixing of different cultures. So yeah, it would be a huge shock to be living in an isolated existence and then all of a sudden like just a cargo of stuff you've never even seen before
Right.
drops in front of you.
Yeah, they didn't have radio. They didn't know
No.
there was a war
That'd
going
be such
on.
a culture shock.
Yeah. And so they literally started worshiping some of these soldiers that came. And there's still cargo cults in existence today. This Tom Froome one is still there. And they actually have something called Tom Froome Day, which is on February 15th. And that's the date which the followers of John Froome cargo cult believe John Froome would come back.
Interesting.
Now, in my mind, I'm like, he's dead now. He's never coming back.
Right.
You know, like he's been dead a long time.
Right. He's old as fuck in the ground.
Right. But then I'm like, what? Maybe they know something we don't know. What if this was not like a normal guy in the American military?
I love it. Well, first of all, that one guy's last name was not Navy. He was in the Navy. Right. So that was just like a miscommunication. But also, could he just be like G.I. Joe come to life?
Right.
Magical Toy Story doll.
Yeah, we don't know
We
if
don't
there was a
know.
magical
I
cupboard
wasn't there. Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
What if it had nothing to do with World War II?
That would be the biggest mind fuck. Like an alien just sees all the shit going on Earth and is like, okay, my name's Tom Navy or whatever
Right.
it was. Like,
Yeah.
and then just drops down on this island.
Right.
Wow.
And he's coming back February 15th.
Of this year?
Of
It's already
every
passed.
year.
Oh, of every year.
That's their day, John Froome Day. Do you
Is-
understand? Like we have Valentine's Day.
Right.
It's
they
like our
have John
tradition.
Froome Day. So like they ask people on dates and go look for cargo.
It could no, I don't know. I think they just think he's coming back. It would be like if Christians had like a certain day they thought like if
There's
December
so many
25th
Christian
was the
cults
day.
that think Jesus is coming back. What was that one that was like 2012 was going to be the end of the world?
Like that's a lot of them.
That's a lot of them. Also, that when we did the Happy Valley Dream survey, there was that like cult tie-in where those people thought that September
September 5th or 4th or something.
Yeah, was going to be the end of the world.
And then you hazed that guy and we're like, it's September, whatever came and gone. We're still here. So I guess you were wrong. You texted that guy.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, no time to explain.
No
Go
time
back
to
and listen to Happy Valley Dream survey and the Q&A from season 2.
Yeah, you have some serious balls. I will say that. Now, let's move on to the next level of this conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Allie,
Yes.
have you ever heard of Zechariah Sitchin?
No.
Exhibit K. Scroll down a little bit more. Zechariah Sitchin.
I was about to say he sounds white, but then I was like, I don't want to say that, but I can say that. I can say that. He looks white and he looks like Colonel Sanders.
He does look like Colonel Sanders. You want to describe him?
Colonel
Well,
Sanders.
Right, like white hair, white mustache.
Although those glasses that he's wearing came back into style
I
like
know.
3 years ago, so
Yeah.
he could have been ahead of his time.
Yeah, I actually almost bought some on Amazon the other day, just like that.
Just like that,
Yeah.
with no prescription in them.
And they're blue light canceling glasses.
Oh, yeah. Those are
Yes.
good for your eyes.
So this is Zechariah Sitchin. He was born in 1920.
In a bowl of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, he died. So do you feel better now?
Well, he should be dead. He was born in 1922. He lived a long and fulfilling life.
You guys, Alyssa just said he should be dead because he's looks like a fried
If
chicken.
this
What
is
did you
him
just say?
I said he was born in a bowl of fried chicken.
That's
It's
can't
Colonel
be-
Sanders.
That has to be cancel material right
I don't
there.
know. He looks like the coleslaw from KFC.
Oh.
I think it's delicious.
All right.
It's a
So
fast
this is
food
Zechariah Sitchin. Moving on. He died in 2010. Are you happy? Don't answer. He was born in Russia and he grew up in Palestine, where he acquired a profound knowledge of modern and ancient Hebrew, other Semitic and European languages, the Old Testament, and the history and archaeology of the Near East. So
Cool.
he knew a bunch of languages and a bunch of cool shit.
Awesome.
Zechariah received a degree in economics from the University of London, and he was an editor and journalist in Palestine before moving to New York in 1952. And then while he was working, this is the best part, while this just normal dude was working for the shipping company, he taught himself Sumerian cuneiform And then he visited several He's visited several. Then he did archaeology.
He did it. Fuck. So okay, I do hear stories about like this person speaks like 75 languages. Actually, you know what? I read an article about these like two dudes. I'm paraphrasing, so it could be totally wrong, but it's like these two dudes who are so fucking good at languages that they will travel to places where languages are dying out, like only have oral tradition, no written language, and they will learn that language and transcribe it. No, they can't bring it back because there's not enough people speaking it, but they'll like transcribe it so that it's not lost
forever
to the annals of history.
Right, the annals of history. Right. Yeah. So basically, this guy was really cool, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry for telling you look like a bowl of coleslaw, but you're dead and you lived a long and fulfilling life and you were smart, so I don't think you care. Right? He's not going to hear this.
If you get haunted tonight, that's why.
Okay.
So Zechariah devotes himself to studying the Sumerian cuneiform at these archaeological sites, and he gathers as much knowledge as he can over 30 years of research. And then he writes this book called The 12th Planet. Now, Allie, what do you think the 12th Planet book is about?
Don't they make dubstep?
Is that 12th Planet?
I think so.
I know there's some planet that
I think it's 12th
I think
Planet.
You fucking dragged me to some shit like that. Like, who's that other guy that
like
scared the shit out of me? That
you didn't like
Space Nectar?
No, it was Gas Lamp Killer. You hated.
You guys, I hated dubstep so much.
Keep in mind, this is like 2010 through 2012.
This was
era.
when it was cool. It was very cool to like dubstep. It was the cool thing to do. Now, Alyssa and I would go to lots of raves. That's why it's so hard for us to communicate now.
Correct.
And I like to this is a tangent that doesn't matter, but I just want to let the records know. I was at the raves for the EDM, not the dubstep, and the dubstep gave me panic attacks.
Also, Natalia thinks that every electronic music is dubstep. So anytime anything plays,
I like house music. Like I would be like at like Tiesto and like I don't know, like Swedish House Mafia. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa would be like, that's pussy music for pussies. I don't have time for that. I need to feel my heart coming out of my chest.
What kind of music do you think this man listened to? Do you
Bossa
think he raved?
Nova.
Oh.
Do
you think like going to like see Beethoven was like a rave?
I don't know. I have no idea, Alyssa.
Okay.
How do you want me to
It was
answer
a
that?
hypothetical question. Continue with the story.
Going to do I think the people who were going to listen to classical music like put on slutty clothes and then like got in a car and like pre-gamed a bunch of like illegal substances when they were like 16 and then listened to dubstep?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
Right.
asking. I bet you anything people were like fucking to Beethoven for sure.
There's got to be someone who listens to this that knows the answer, and let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment.
I mean, how would you even do that? Would you have to see it live? Like, how did you?
What do you mean? How would they do what? How would someone know?
No, how would someone fuck to Beethoven? Like you couldn't just put a record on at your house that's Beethoven. Did they have records then? No.
I don't know. I think the answer is that rich people probably had like their own little balcony at the opera thing and they were just fucking up there while Beethoven was playing.
What if after it was over you went home and you like still wanted to fuck to it and so you guys were both just like bing 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 bing. No 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 no.
Yeah. That's what happened.
So what do you think the 12th planet is about?
Oh, I forgot. It's about, okay, I'm going to guess that it's a planet that is 12 planets from the sun or the earth.
Like, actually, yes. So this book is based on literally what Sitchin learned. I can't drive this home enough. Sitchin learned and wrote this book.
This guy?
Yes. He studied this Sumerian cuneiform. Okay, so according to Sitchin, from what he read from the Sumerian cuneiform, there is an undiscovered planet beyond Neptune that follows a long elliptical orbit, which is reaching our solar system roughly every 3,600 years.
Okay.
The planet is called Nibiru.
I'm on board.
But Nibiru's name, according to Sitchin, was replaced with the name Marduk. So if you read Sumerian cuneiform and you're like, there's no Nibiru in here, it's because Marduk, who was this Babylonian ruler, renamed the planet Marduk so that he could claim that like he created the planet. Anyways, Marduk or Nibiru collided catastrophically with this other planet, Tiamat, who was a goddess in the Babylonian creation myth. But Sitchin is saying that like this is a creation myth that's talking about how there's like this goddess and this god, and they're like colliding into each other. But he's saying that actually these are two planets. Nibiru and Tiamat are like colliding into each other. It's catastrophic. And Tiamat is actually another planet that was once located between Mars and Jupiter. So when Nibiru collided with Tiamat, these two unknown planets began to make this catastrophic event, which formed the planet Earth.
Oh, okay.
The asteroid belt and the comets.
Shit.
So this is super different from what you learn in astrology. I know, astronomy and astrology.
In world history or formation of Earth.
Right.
Yeah. It's very different. I like it better.
So Sitchin also speculated that Pluto, which he identified as Gaga and Isimud, which are gods in his Sumerian cuneiform adventure, and they were originally satellites of Saturn, but Nibiru's gravity messed with Pluto, which sent Pluto to the outer solar system, which explains Pluto's peculiar orbital path, which intersects the orbit of Neptune. So Pluto has like this really weird orbital path, which intersects intersects the orbit of Neptune. But you guys, this is a bunch of nerd shit, but I'm telling it for the people who know what I'm talking about, okay? So that they're like, oh my God, that explains why Pluto is so different, okay?
Okay.
So Nibiru is called the 12th planet because the Sumerian gods, given conception of the solar system, counted all 8 planets plus Pluto, the sun, and the moon. As you know now, it's not 12 planets.
Okay.
And Nibiru was home. This is the best part. Nibiru. What can you just guess what was happening on Nibiru?
The Anunnaki made a fort.
Basically, to a larger degree. Nibiru was home of the Anunnaki, who were this technologically advanced, human-like extraterrestrial race.
Extraterrestrial race?
Extraterrestrial race.
That, okay.
Let me say it again, and you act shocked. Nibiru was home of a technologically...
I act shocked too soon. Do it again.
Nibiru was home of a technologically advanced human-like extraterrestrial race called the Anunnaki from the Sumerian myth that Sitchin stated was also the Nephilim in the Bible, who are the giants, aka the demons.
Holy shit. And this guy, Colonel Sanders, figured it out?
Yes.
So, okay, so let me just ask a question. So all of this stuff that you're telling me right now is not his opinion. It's what he translated from this ancient language.
Yes. My man taught himself. We cannot say this enough. He taught himself.
But how do we know who was
cuneiform.
checking his work? Who was like double checking his translation?
A lot of people double checked it and said it was wrong.
Oh.
But then a lot of people checked it and said it was right. And that's how they have ancient aliens.
I'm telling you, translation is so nuanced. So who's to say?
Right. That's why in that intro that I couldn't stop laughing at the beginning where I was like, how do we interpret history, right? Like, because whoever writes history wants us to believe that's how it was.
Right. No, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say that translation is nuanced, because take, for example, super common mistranslation of the Bible where it says a man shall not lay with a man, it is an abomination. The actual translation is a man shall not molest a small child, it is an abomination. Right. So it's very true that there's a lot of debate on like what is the real meaning of this word in Greek, or what is the real meaning of this root word in Latin. So yeah, who's to say? He could have had the correct translation and somebody else is just interpreting it differently. It's a dead language.
Yeah, I mean, he translated it, and then he also had like evidence that he thinks backs this up, which I'm going to get into. Let me finish telling you about the Anunnaki because it's important. Okay. So the Anunnaki evolved after Nibiru entered the solar system, and they arrived on Earth 450,000 years ago. So, Allie.
Yes.
Why do you think the Anunnaki came to Earth?
Well, you told me at the beginning that they were refugees.
Why do you think they came to Earth?
Because their planet collided with another planet and they had to find a place to live.
But what did they do once they got to Earth? Let me give you a hint.
Okay. Atlantis?
Cue the next photo. It's my favorite thing.
Okay. Treasure?
Is
it treasure?
Yeah.
Gold.
It's gold.
Oh my god.
They were looking for gold.
Natalia, are you a descendant of the Anunnaki?
It could be because I have that blood type too.
That's true. You do have a rare blood type.
You guys, I'm O negative blood, which can give to everyone else, but can only take O negative blood. Now, what does that mean unless all the other blood's not good enough for my blood, but my blood is good enough for all the other bloods?
I just want to say I also have O negative blood, so it's not uncommon.
Wow, you are also superior. Wait, is that the right one?
You might have a different blood type because mine is O negative.
Is that the one where you can give to everyone else, but you can, yeah.
The universal donor.
Yeah, but you can only have O negative blood.
Oh, I don't know.
You can donate to everyone else, but you can only have O negative. You guys, if this is wrong, just pretend you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Now, they were looking for gold. They were also looking for a bunch of other stuff, like other minerals. But I am saying they were looking for gold because gold is included in other minerals. And
so they weren't looking for gold.
They
you
were
just really like gold, so you're projecting.
No, they were looking for gold, but they were also looking for like uranium and like all this other shit, like mercury, like all this boring shit.
Well, that could explain why there's so many alien sightings in Russia, because don't they have uranium mines there? Isn't that something that we learned?
Oh, wow. We could really connect that.
We could.
I should put another bullet point in
all
here.
the dots.
So they found gold and they mined it in Africa. And we learned that we learned that the Anunnaki were actually not gods at all, but they were miners who were workers of a colonial expedition to Earth from the planet Nibiru. So they were refugees that they were basically like slaves of their own planet, like, or not slaves. They were ancient astronauts. They had a shitty job. It would be like if
they were the worker bees of their...
Right, but they're like going to colonize another planet because their resources were running out or whatever. So it would be like what we're doing to this planet, and now we want to send all these people to like
Mars.
another planet, to colonize that because this one's gonna get fucked up, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Those people that are going to another planet, like they're not gonna have a good time. Like they're not gonna see any of their friends again. They're not gonna. It's gonna suck.
They don't know if they're gonna die immediately. They don't know if.
Right, and
they're gonna happen.
They're gonna be living in like NASA tents.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be like
it's FEMA
not cool.
tents, like Fire Festival.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Fire Festival on Mars.
Wow.
And that's why
don't sign me up for
we
that.
Salute them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're heroes and refugees at the same time. All right. So they come to Earth, they find the gold, they mined it in Africa, and it's probably hot as fuck there, and it's not fun. Like I'm saying, it sucks. It's Fire Festival. So what do you think that these like smart, technologically advanced ETs did next?
So, okay, if I were an ET, I would build an advanced civilization, right?
Yeah, and what do you need to build an advanced civilization?
Tools. Gold?
Yes, gold. But you also need workers to build that.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So long story short, they enslaved the human race by, so at this time there were like cavemen, and they genetically modified and genetically engineered their DNA into like the caveman DNA to make Homo sapiens, what you and I are today.
Oh, okay.
So they have this new race of people who are going to mine for them. Now, keep in mind, we're still talking about what was in this book, The 12th Planet, that our man Sitchin got from the Sumerian cuneiform.
So this is all, again, I just want to reiterate, because I'm trying to make sure I understand. So this is all a translation of what KFC Man saw in pictograms or something.
Right. This is what he deciphered from his
And he could be right,
studies.
he could be wrong. We're not sure, it's up in the air. He's probably right.
He's probably right.
Probably right. Okay.
It sounds like he's right to me. So next thing that happens, one of these Anunnaki who came up with, well, no, what happens next? What do you think happens next? They have this like advanced civilization. Okay. They have these people mining for them. They're like doing really well. They're basically like oligarchs now. Like they're chilling, hanging out on Earth, like living in their pyramids that the human race is building for them. Like chilling.
They die.
No.
They have a war.
Yes.
Okay. It had to be one or the other.
They start going to war with each other. And then ultimately, they are fighting so much amongst themselves that they just end up destroying a bunch of cities like with their war. In fact, there's the Sumerian tablet, which is known as the Lament for Ur, which is basically just the sad piece of poetry about a city called Ur, which was destroyed. But Sitchin says that you can show the photo of the tablet. This is Lament for Ur.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Large tablet.
Yeah. So Sitchin reads this and he translates this. There's this thing that they say, like, this evil wind came and destroyed the entire city of Ur, which was around 2000 BC. Now, he translates that as it was nuclear fallout from nuclear weapons, which were being used during the war between these factions of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
And so other people are like, well, this could have just been a tornado.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like a crazy sandstorm or something.
But what if it was nuclear fallout from extraterrestrials that came to this earth to mine for gold and ended up fighting amongst themselves and used nuclear weapons against each other?
Okay, counterpoint. What if it was another Tunguska event that we learned about in episode 420? It was episode 69 on 420.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember that giant meteor?
Right. There was just a big explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
and
if that's what it was?
It left like all those trees
just
dead.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What if that's what it was? Evil wind? That's up for interpretation. I'm not sure what his translation is.
Right. Well, the only way to really know the answer is for you to translate the Sumerian tablets.
Okay, I'm on it.
Are you ready for the next level of this conspiracy?
Mm-hmm.
So then the Anunnaki are forced to temporarily leave Earth's surface, and they have to orbit around the planet when the Antarctic glaciers start melting because of the Great Flood, which also destroyed the Anunnaki's bases on Earth. So they're like orbiting around Earth, and meanwhile, these bases have to be rebuilt, and the Anunnaki needs more humans to help this massive effort, and so they teach mankind agriculture.
Wow.
Now, Allie, I want you to just reflect on this butterfly effect, okay?
Yes.
450,000 years ago, an alien wanted some gold, and now you have to do HR.
That's very... I do HR in agriculture, so this is very true. It's all because an Anunnaki impregnated a cave woman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I would not be here today.
So now, I mean, you would, but you just wouldn't be doing HR.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe you would.
I don't know.
You guys... Destiny can't escape. Whatever.
And whatever, it doesn't matter.
No.
You know what I would be doing? If they didn't come down here, I would just be doing HR for like some hunter-gatherers or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, they would. That would be. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. That's
that could be another episode in itself.
Yeah.
Now, Allie, are you ready for the next level?
I'm ready.
Oh,
we're going one deeper?
Yeah, one deeper.
I'm ready.
This, I feel like it's supposed to be deeper, but to me, this is like surface level. The Anunnaki built the pyramids and all the other monumental structures from around the ancient world that ancient astronaut theorists consider to be impossible without highly advanced technological advances.
I mean, if we're going to take this pill and believe everything that this guy translated, that he translated it correctly, that this is the story that they themselves wrote.
Right.
Then that makes sense.
Now, do you know what the Nazca Lines are?
Are these like those crop circle looking patterns that are in some country?
Cue the photo.
Yes, that's exactly what I was picturing. Yes.
Yeah. So the Nazca Lines are actually called geoglyphs, and they're this group of very large geoglyphs that are made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. And they were created between like 500 BC and 500 AD by people who were making depressions, like shallow incisions in the desert floor, and they removed these pebbles up, and then the differently colored dirt is exposed. Now, in the years leading up to 2020, between 80 and 100 new figures have been found with the use of drones, and archaeologists believe that there are more to be found. But what's really significant about these lines is that they're better seen from an elevation. So the next photo shows, like, if you go to see them, see how high up you have to be to see that thing? Like, it's huge, right?
Right. So who were they making it for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're best seen all of these lines are best seen from the air at around 500 meters or 1,600 feet, which is where the aliens hang out in the air, right?
Fact.
So Also, what's weird is like you're like, okay, what are the point of all these things, right? Well, the purpose of the Nazca Lines just eludes researchers. Like, no one knows what they're for because the ancient Nazca culture was prehistoric, which means it existed before there was any, like, written documentation. And one idea that people have is that perhaps they're linked to the heavens with some of the lines that are, like, representing constellations.
Oh, that's interesting.
In the night sky. And do you know what else is in the night sky?
Aliens.
Yeah. Cue exhibit in. Do you know what this is?
Maximilian de Lata. I can't read that last part. 2022. What will happen to us when the Anunnaki return to Earth in 2022?
Yeah, so
that's next year.
What you're looking at right now is the cover of a book.
Okay.
By Maximilian de Lafayette. De Lafayette.
Okay.
Which is called 2022. What will happen to us when the Anunnaki return to Earth in 2022?
He put 2022 one too many times on there. We get it. It already says 2022. We know.
But doesn't it make you want to know what will happen to us when the Anunnaki return to Earth in 2020?
When did he write this book, and was it this year?
I wish I had that information for you. But I do not. I do not have that information for you.
Because it's more impressive if it's like he wrote this in 1953. You know what I mean? Versus like some guy living in the forest who self-published a book this year during quarantine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know who sent this to me?
Who?
James Allen McCune.
James Allen McCune sent you this topic. Wow. Shout out to Jamie.
You know, he sent me this book.
Oh, he sent you this book.
Yeah.
Oh, the actual book?
He sent me a PDF of this book. I have no idea how or why he has it.
Well, if you open the PDF, it'll tell you when it was published.
I didn't open
You didn't even open it. He sent you a book, and you based an entire episode around it, but you didn't even open it.
Okay, but here's why. Because when I tried to open the PDF, it wasn't compatible with whatever I was like looking at it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go read the preview.
I'm going to go to the Wikipedia. I'm going to go to the Spark Notes.
You guys, we're not experts here. I don't have enough time to tell you why this stuff is. You have a baby.
No, yeah.
Okay.
I don't expect you to have enough time.
So in this book, here's the Spark Notes. All right. Mm-hmm. Are you surprised? Like, I never read anything.
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. All right. In this book, he posits that the Anunnaki have created us as their mining project, as we talked about, but humans have been infiltrated by the gray aliens. The Greys are aliens who have been visiting Earth and contaminating it by breeding with humans, creating new hybrid humans. So when we hear about people getting abducted for science experiments, it's actually the gray aliens.
Yeah.
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 And those who have been contaminated.
They're just perverts.
Yes. Those who have been contaminated with gray DNA are easy to spot because according to this book, not me, they are like just people who are fucked up. They're murderers, they're rapists, there's people who torture and abuse. They're like just sociopaths. They lack human empathy. They're not like human.
Okay.
And the Anunnaki just don't fuck around, right? So they're just gonna fucking burn up and destroy the whole planet Earth because they're like our like project that we created the humans to, you know, mine this stuff for us, and now the Greys are coming over and making them fucked up. It would be like if you had like I don't know, like a bunch of hamsters, and then all of a sudden like some new hamsters came in and just made them all start like killing each other and stuff. You would be like, this is sad.
Right.
What should I do? Oh, I should blow up the ones that are not that are like contaminated, and I should save the ones that are like innocent little rodents, right?
So is this an allegory for genocide? I'm not understanding.
This is what this book is saying.
Oh, this is what this book is saying. Okay.
Is the book
Just go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead. We're never gonna. We didn't read the book, so we don't know.
I got frozen, you guys. So
put like the buffering.
Yeah, I know. I was literally thinking that the little. Yeah. Okay. So anyone who's not contaminated with the gray DNA, or anyone who has cleansed themselves from their contamination, will be able to escape this catastrophic event of the Anunnaki just blowing of the Earth up. And they're going to be able to escape through these special portals that are called Ba'abs, and they're going to be taken up through this antimatter bubble along with certain animals, art, buildings, artifacts, all that shit we want to keep from Earth that's cool, bangers, songs, whatever, until the Earth is clean again, where then the good people will return without the gray DNA.
Okay.
Now, Allie, you might be thinking, well, how do you cleanse yourself of this DNA?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, we don't have gene therapy developed yet, so how would you change your genetics.
According to this preview of the book that I read, you have to buy the book, which I obviously did not. And I was going to buy the book, but afterwards the prologue just scared the shit out of me. So I didn't even fuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this book, this book is terrifying. It's basically what I just told you. And the thing about it is that...
Wait, but how do you cleanse? You didn't answer the question. How do you cleanse?
I don't know.
Oh, because you didn't read it.
I didn't read the book.
Okay.
In the prologue, it was here's what's been happening. The Anunnaki, created the humans to mine for gold, and then the gray DNAs have come in, and that's, why we have, all of these, rapists and murderers and whatever. And now I'm going to teach you how to cleanse yourself so that, when they come... It's basically a rapture. So that when the Anunnaki...
Oh, this guy is selling a book telling you how to make yourself worthy of being raptured.
Right.
Got it.
By the Anunnaki.
Got it.
And he's also going to teach you ancient codex something.
Right. A tale as old as time. Yeah. What's the difference between this guy and John Smith, the Mormon guy? I don't know. What's the difference between any religious figureheads?
Right. Yeah. I mean, now, as you know, this podcast sometimes deals with some heavy things.
Yes.
Is
this a trigger warning that you're about to give?
This is another trigger warning. I'm not going to put too much effort into explaining the next layer of this conspiracy theory because it goes into some territory that I find to be a little uncouth.
Okay. I think this whole episode is pretty uncouth.
But there's this other guy. Okay, his name is David Icke. And he's this British conspiracy theorist who popularized the reptilian conspiracy. Okay. Do you know what the reptilian conspiracy theory is?
Yes, the reptilian conspiracy theory states that the real world government or the real happenings of the world are controlled by these puppet masters that are reptilians. Mm-hmm. They're I think they're almost like humanoids. It's like reptile humans.
Right. Well, in his conspiracy theory, he says that the Anunnaki are the reptilian or overlords.
Okay.
And that they're already here. We keep saying, everyone that's been talking about this conspiracy, Sitchin, who wrote the 12th, Sitchin, who wrote the 12th planet, and Maximilian, who is the Anunnaki are going to return to Earth. They're all saying the Anunnaki are going to return. Now, David Icke, he says that the Anunnaki are already here, and there are reptilian overlords, and they're like Jeff Bezos, and they're the Facebook Mark Zuckerberg.
By the way, did you see that petition that is going around the internet saying petition to not let Jeff Bezos come back from space because he paid money to do this private space travel thing?
No.
Yeah, so if he is an Anunnaki, he'd be right at home if we didn't let him come back down to Earth.
I mean, wait, what? He's going to space?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know.
What is he going to do?
Fly around, be like, hey, I'm rich and I'm in space.
Right, he's just going to go into orbit and then come back
Build
down.
an Amazon fulfillment center on Mars? Who knows?
When you get that rich, should you just not have any fear? You're I've done everything I could on this Earth. If I blow up in this primitive, spacecraft.
Well, but what if he is an alien and even if it did blow up, he could still survive out there? Another theory, what if he is an Anunnaki and he's trying to get back to his home planet? Because he's I'm so bored of mining these stupid gray matter alien humanoids to work at my fulfillment centers and not let them use the bathroom. I need to go back to my home planet. I've gotten all the gold I can possibly get.
Yeah, he's this video game is too easy.
Yes.
Oh my God. So he's going to go, we think that he's going
gonna
to space.
hijack it.
Yeah, and we're just going to see his little rocket ship keep going and never come back.
Yep.
You guys heard it here first.
It's a prediction that I have made. How about this? Another one. Sorry, last one. Okay, what if that's his plan, but what he's going to do is stage that his shuttle blew up. But in reality, he had an escape pod, and he's just going home to the 12th planet.
Say it again.
What?
Sorry, I started thinking about what I was going to talk about next. You guys, do you like this video podcast? Is this worse for you? Is this worth it for you?
Everything about our podcast is worse every time that we record. So I am assuming this is only getting worse and worse.
Okay, say it again.
No. You guys listening, leave a comment. If you agree with me, you heard it here first.
Something about the 12th planet.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, now we're coming to a close on this episode.
All right.
So cue Exhibit P.
Yes!
Yes. I think it speaks for itself.
You guys, Darby Draws, at Darby Draws on Instagram, drew me as the aliens guy, and that is one of my favorite fan art drawings I have ever seen. Also, this guy, Natalia, and I saw him from a distance at Alien Con, and I wanted a photo with him so bad, but you literally had to pay like $100 per person.
Oh,
yes,
it was more than $100.
Oh, it was more than 100?
Yeah. I thought it was like 200 something.
Honestly, I just blocked it out of my memory because I was like, who would pay $200 for that? Honestly, if I were Jeff Bezos rich, I would pay a lot of money to have a photo with that guy.
Right. What if Jeff Bezos just is that guy? What if he's like, what if
Wow.
we're the, oh my God, what if it's like the Truman Show and literally everyone is a reptilian overlord and I'm the only real person?
Wow. What if Jeff Bezos made the pyramids himself and he's just an eternal, like Tuck Everlasting vampire man?
Now, that reminds me of what I need to talk about.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people will say, aliens didn't build the pyramids. Aliens didn't build all of these like monumental structures.
Right.
Aliens didn't do the Nazca Lines. And we're not saying that they did. This conspiracy theory is saying that aliens forced the humans to build those things for them. So everyone's like, slaves built all of these things in Egypt. And it's actually really fucked up for you to say that aliens did it because you're discounting like the suffering of an entire people who like, you know, were enslaved to build these things. That's not what this conspiracy theory is saying. This conspiracy theory is saying that those slaves that built the pyramids were doing so for their reptilian overlords.
Okay.
Which,
so
yeah.
Instead of doing it for like a pharaoh who had these people enslaved, the pharaoh was still there, but the pharaoh may or may not have been of extraterrestrial origin. I mean,
it could have. It's like, how intelligent do we think the human race is? Like, were the Anunnaki just like, oh, the humans will be able to create their own society and run it, and we'll just kind of step back in the back, you know, people who they're going to figure out these hallmarks of society, like coming up with their own way of writing, being able to have culture and art, coming up with like agriculture and all that stuff. If we just teach them the basics, which is agriculture, to survive, then they'll figure it all out. So like maybe the pharaoh was a human, but the Anunnaki are like sitting back on like, you know, way back in the distance watching. Right. I don't know. Like, is it like a zoo situation?
Is it? I mean, I think it could be. I mean, since we don't know, it could be anything, right? It could be a situation where what if the Anunnaki were posing as pharaohs? What if they were like, hey, this is me. I have a human form and I'm just here and I have all the gold. So build me a pyramid.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be.
You don't know.
Now, some people believe that some of these ancient structures were ways for the Anunnaki to like technology. Like they think the pyramids might have been some sort of beacon or might have like stored some sort of goods or whatever. I don't think that. I think that it's literally the Anunnaki enslaved the humans to make all of these things for them. Yeah.
I think I am still stuck on the Nazca Lines about like, and I just keep thinking about like, okay, it's not that it's impossible to do that from the ground. It's not impossible. A lot of work. You definitely can do it, and in fact, they did it.
Yeah.
My main thing is, who were they doing it for? And I think the easy answer is, oh, they were doing it for the gods. But still, like you pointed out, you need to have a drone or an airplane or a helicopter or be on top of a really fucking high mountain with like the best binoculars on earth to be able to see like the fruits of their labor. I guess it's possible that they were just like, well, we don't need to see it. This is not for us. We're making this for other people. But I still feel like that doesn't quite make sense to me.
An interesting thing that you said is like, who is this for, right? So when I was researching this, my mind's all over the place because there are so many different people interpret this so many different ways. Like Sitchin interpreted it one way. The Ancient Aliens guy interprets it another way. The guy who wrote What Will Happen to Us When the Anunnaki Return to Earth in 2022 interpreted it a different way.
We assume, we didn't read it.
Right.
But we assume he interpreted it a different way.
And going back to what I was talking about in the intro of how like history is just written by the victors. Maybe all of these things were like these ancient people attempting to tell the story to the future. Like, here's one deeper. Perhaps, you know how there's like prehistoric times? What if there was history then? What if there were ways to communicate, but they were all destroyed by, the reptilian overlords?
I mean, who's to say?
Right? Like, what if these Nazca Lines are trying to tell us, hey, see this fucked up monkey? This is not just like some fucked up shit we like created because we were all stoned. This is this is like we saw this fucked up monkey. Like this that's what our leaders really are, like under their skin.
Yeah, this constellation in the sky shaped like a monkey is actually sentient.
Yes.
And we were mimicking those lines as to be like, hey, look, we made this for you. Please don't throw your banana peel at us or something, like please don't fuck us up.
Right. Like they were thought that if they had enough veneration. I mean, I don't know. Before we do our closing thoughts, I want to just say my sources.
Okay.
So Wikipedia, obviously. Ancient Aliens, which is a TV series on the History Channel. The Encyclopedia Britannica, a book entitled 2022, What Will Happen to Us When the Anunnaki Return to Earth in 22 by Jean-Maximilien Delacroix de Lafayette. And a blog entitled Impressions Travelogue by Renate Flynn. And then also the Louvre. Yes, thank you.
Loved it.
Now, if you guys watch Ancient Aliens, like every single episode is they're basically taking like ancient structures or writing and from all over the world, and they're translating it through the lens of perhaps the gods and the angels, and the deities that they're talking about weren't deities, weren't angels, weren't gods, but they were actually ancient astronauts.
That's pretty cool.
So, and that there's like so many seasons of that. This is literally just like a little like get your toe wet. Like this is just a little taster. Mm-hmm. And so if you liked this episode, how about you buy that book, 2022, What Will Happen to Us When the Anunnaki Return to Earth in 2022, and let us know.
Let us know what you're supposed to do to cleanse yourself of gray DNA, because as someone with an autoimmune disease who wishes gene therapy were a thing for adults, I would like to know. Tell me how to do it.
Right.
Let me cleanse my DNA.
I feel like we're going to get some real tin hats in here in the comments, like the kind of people that respond to the Quora questions that I ask that are going to know the answers, and they're going to be upsetting.
If you don't know the answers, do what everyone on Quora does, which is make a fake account pretending to be an Anunnaki and answer as if you know the answer.
Yeah. Yes, you guys leave a comment as the Anunnaki below. Yes. And I know I'm going to get roasted because there were several times where I said Anunnaki instead of Anunnaki.
I don't think it matters because I don't think these... Oh, I was about to say something triggering. I was about to say they're not real. But that's... We don't know. We don't know if they're real or not. I was going to say you can pronounce it however you want. But they are real.
Let me ask you this. Was George Washington real?
I have no way of knowing.
See?
And that is a fact.
See?
Yeah.
That's my episode.
That was great, Natalia. Thank you. I love alien stories, and I love that it had a Nancy Drew tie-in for me so I can, like, access those memories from, like, 10-year-old Allie playing that computer game. That was very enjoyable for me. In fact, you're kind of making me draw a lot of parallels. I wonder which came first, that Nancy Drew game or Ancient Aliens? That's interesting to know because a character in that Nancy Drew game is named Sunny June, and he looks exactly like this Ancient Alien guy, and he's obsessed with the Anunnaki in the game.
I feel like Ancient Aliens was playing like in the mid 2000s, right? Like, was it like 2010 or something? Let's look it up.
Can you Google, first of all, can you Google Sunny June, SONNYJOON? I want to show you what this guy looks like. And he's obsessed.
Ancient Aliens has 16 seasons, and it started in 2010 to 2011. That was the first
I think
season.
The Nancy Drew game came first.
Wow.
Yes. This is him. He's obsessed with the Anunnaki. He loves Cocoa Kringles. This is like nobody plays these games. Except for me.
Look at those boots.
He's a great sassy man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a lot of flair, a lot of know-how, and he's obsessed with aliens. And he kind of reminds me of that George Shopalopoulos or whatever that guy's name is, that is the Ancient Aliens guy.
What I'm hearing is that Allie wants some fanfic written about this guy for her personal stash.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Sunny June.
Sunny June.
He
likes Cocoa Kringles.
Oh my god, Sunny June, like the sunny month of June.
June gloom, I believe, is the expression. But yeah, it could be a sunny June. You're right. I understand what you're saying. He brings light where there is darkness, and I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we see what game he was first from? Sorry, this is very important to me, and we have time left, so
okay.
I want to know. He was from first appearing in Secret of the Scarlet Hand. Okay, so we need to know when Secret of the Scarlet Hand came out. Because I think we may have just realized that guy stole his whole swag. Yes. So that Ancient Aliens guy, this is my conspiracy theory, stole his whole swag from Sunny June from Secret of the Scarlet Hand.
That's what we've come to conclude.
Yes.
That is the final layer
that
of this
is
conspiracy
allegedly
theory.
I don't want to get sued by Ancient Aliens. Allegedly they stole their whole swag for their main guy from this game.
You guys, this is all like fun and games, but people actually believe like that to 2022 what will happen when the Anunnaki return. Like people were leaving comments on it, and they were talking about how the book changed their life and how they're like cleansing themselves and they're ready for this return in 2022. This shit has me scared. Like,
yeah.
Is this...
Yeah.
And they're so serious about it. Like, it's not a joke.
Well, I also, let me just say, I'm not saying, I want to clarify, because I said Anunnaki is like not real. I think what I mean by that is that term, the name Anunnaki, I don't know how they got to that translation, if it was all in pictographs. So I think that's what I mean, is you can pronounce it however you want. I'm not saying that there isn't a race of aliens coming back next year. I have no way of knowing. And with all of the uptick in UFO sightings, honestly, would I even be surprised anymore? No, I would not be. I'd be like, okay, here's an alien. Fix our problems.
I thought we
need help.
Yeah. I mean, I thought if they were going to come back, it would have been during 2020.
Yeah, it was a bad time. Maybe they were even like, this is not where we want to be. Like, let's wait till they have this
shit together
coronavirus figured out. Yeah, like they
Right.
need the vaccine too.
Yeah.
They don't have any antibodies for this disease.
Yeah, also the gray, like one of the facets of this conspiracy theory is that the gray aliens are bad aliens. What do you think of that?
I mean, I do know that they are really down for putting stuff in people's butts without consent. So I would say that if they are a superior race, they know that what they're doing is fucked up. So, or
they just have no empathy.
Right.
They're just
they're
like
sociopaths.
Oh, yeah, like it's like when kids kill animals or something and then they turn out to be a murderer.
A serial killer.
Or serial killer. That was actually a gray alien.
Yeah.
Because humans wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, who's to say?
I know. There should be like a meme that's
just who's to say? And it's both of us just like fucking stupid as fuck, not reading a book and being like, who's to say?
Hey, you're right.
No,
but
I'm agreeing with you.
We need to take these out of the way so that someone can cut us out and make it. Like,
who's to say? Who's to say? Who's to say?
Okay, perfect.
There was one other thing. Oh, since we still have like 10 minutes before our time cuts out, I just want to know, what is the way to cleanse? How to cleanse yourself
of gray DNA.
Let's see. Gray.
5 tips to naturally cleanse your body. Oh, no.
Going gray.
Can genetic gray? Oh.
No, that's about hair. Okay, hold on. We're not. How? Damn it. My nails are too big. I can't. Okay, gray alien DNA. It looks like there aren't many matches to your search. Well, that's a travesty. Are we never going to know unless we read? I don't want to read that book.
I don't know. I'm learning a lot more. Trump promotes a doctor who claimed alien DNA is used.
Oh, so this whole episode is
true.
Also, speaking of Trump and cargo cults.
Yes.
Isn't there a cargo cult that worships Trump? I seem to remember reading. I don't know.
Is there?
I could be full of shit. It could have been Obama. It could have been any president that I saw an article about, where like they have a picture of him and they like. It also could have just been like a gross mischaracterization. It could have just simply been that there was a guy who had a photo of Trump or Obama, and then some journalist decided that meant that they worshipped them. I have no idea. I saw a headline, not an article. Don't quote me.
I mean, as much as this conspiracy theory stresses me out, the fact that cargo cults do exist.
That is so cool. I love that.
They actually exist. That is
neat.
Real.
And we could be that.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point. The Bible, the Torah, the Mormon Bible, the
right. Like we see in
Mormon Torah.
We see an ancient we see in
the Quran.
We see an ancient astronaut at some point come to Earth, and then we venerate that as a god because we've never seen technology like that before.
Right. And also, for anyone who's offended by anything, we're not saying any of this is real. We are simply presenting what KFC Man thought.
Right.
And he started a whole chain of events. Or did the Anunnaki start the chain of events and he simply translated what they left for us to find?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm stressed.
I'm very, very excited to see what happens 2022. It can't get much worse, so I think it could only get better.
Well, it's been getting better. I don't want it to end. I feel like it's been working.
No, I'm saying they might come and they might like fix things that are a problem. Things aren't getting better.
If you want to go through the Baab, though, you're going to have to either not be contaminated with gray DNA, or you're going to have to cleanse yourself.
And the Bob is the portal, and it sounds like it's not spelled B-O-B. How is it spelled?
B-A''A-B.
A-B. Baab. Okay,
Baab.
got it.
Right. It's a portal, antimatter. It's going to zap up everything that they want to preserve from Earth. It's very similar to like the flood story in the Bible where it's like an ark and it's like an ark and was that, through some way like translation about this event, but it was lost.
That is a great question.
Translations.
Could Noah have been an Anunnaki? I don't know. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're right. We also didn't say what was wrong or right, so you're wrong.
Now, guys, if you like this visual episode, you can tell us about it.
Let us know.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it, also let us know.
It's honestly a lot of work.
Is it? I think we were saying this before we started recording. Is it better for you guys to picture us however you want to picture us in your mind's eye?
Yeah.
Probably. That's probably more entertaining for you. So let us know if you never want us to do this ever again. And also let us know if you liked it. And yeah, I
follow us.
Great episode.
At Let's Get Haunted.
That's right. On all social media, at Let's Get Haunted on Instagram, at Let's Get Haunted on Twitter. Facebook.com/Let's Get Haunted if you want to see where the normies find us when our posts accidentally go viral. Right. And then you can also go to reddit.com/Let's Get Haunted. That's where I mostly hang out. There's a Discord where you can go. Natalia is mostly in the Discord. I'm mostly in the Reddit. I do go to the Discord every once in a while to hang out with people in the alley, which is my little zone, my haunted alley where the men in black live. And Natalia has the Nat Chat, so you can find us there too. How do you get the link to the Discord? That is the question.
Right. It's super exclusive. So exclusive that we won't even make a easy way for you to get it.
I actually don't know how to make an easy way for you guys to get it. So what you're going to have to do is find someone who's already in it and ask them for an invitation.
It's kind of nice. It's like the community will sort of like keep it self-regulated, right?
Yeah.
Like people who are in the Reddit, if someone asks,
the moderators are great in the Discord.
So yeah, someone's like, hey, I want to get onto the Discord, and then either everyone's like, okay, fine, and they let you come in and they send you a link, or they're like, no, fuck you.
You don't get to come in. You're not cool enough.
Right.
There are 751 members in the Let's Get Haunted fan server right now, so I'm sure you guys can find one of them and join up.
Slay.
Or you can just ask me, honestly. I'm such a sucker. If you DM me and you're like, can I have it? I'll just be like, yeah.
Yeah, there were several times that I just gave someone the link.
Yeah, so I'm like, is this someone who we don't want in the fan Discord? I don't know. Is this someone who's pretending to be a fan when they actually hate us? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's
honestly, you're a loser if you don't like us and you're like, I want to join the fan Discord. Find a better use of your time. Get a life.
Now, question to you, Allie.
Yes.
Should I edit this video that we're watching right now? If you guys are seeing this right now, that means she said no.
No, I don't think you should edit it. I think you should just
let it
freeball it, let it live. Just do it. Okay. Nike.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
All right. We can't say that. I think they own that. Are we allowed to say that?
Just do it. Trademark Nike. That's allowed. And oh my gosh, did you download it? Copyright. Okay, first of all, Maximilien de Lafayette, copyright 2010. And he thinks the end of the world. Okay, how do we do this? Is this okay?
Wow, he's good.
You're so good at your job.
Okay. What does it say?
The answer.
The Anunnaki will create an electroplasma layer shield around the orbit of Earth, preventing any hostile extraterrestrial civilization from conquering Earth. Well, that sounds good. The shield will be an invisible plasmic belt surrounding the whole planet Earth. The plasmic belt will look like a zone of extremely excessive and intensive heat that will melt anything that might try to go through it. On the inside, the mind of human beings will be constantly monitored by the Anunnaki societies on Earth, which will report directly to the High Council on Nibiru. A new conduit will be implanted in the brain cells of each human, so a new form of a global truth governing the whole Earth and based totally on scientific facts will shape up social code and ethics and eliminating erroneous personal interpretations of law and order.
Okay, wait.
It's no longer special interest. Oh my God, yeah, now I understand.
What if there's a QAnon tie-in
No,
here?
it is. I'm already. This is QAnon.
This is just QAnon with extra steps.
Fuck, God damn it.
We've come back full circle to our QAnon episode.
I'm gonna cry. You guys, I'm so done with this QAnon. It's like fucked up my whole life.
We've accidentally researched QAnon so many times.
Why does everything lead back to QAnon?
I don't know. I don't know. Go listen to our QAnon episode if you haven't listened to that yet. Natalia downloaded what is it called? Tor browser, so that she could go on the dark web and try to find adrenochrome for sale and try to find this video, a snuff film of Hillary Clinton. Right. No spoilers. Go back and listen to that episode if you want to hear that giant shit show. She made me watch a video that I will not talk about.
You guys
have to go listen to that episode. Yeah, this is just QAnon. So then what was the QAnon theory for how to get to the fifth dimension or whatever it was?
You had to transcend. Oh, what was it? You had to transcend by like opening your third eye.
Yeah, but how did you open your third eye? Was it the adrenochrome? I've blocked out so much of that episode from my memory.
I think just believing in QAnon meant that your third eye was opening. Oh. Right? It was like everyone who's transcended.
Wait, that's really lame. That was it? You didn't have to do you didn't have to like journey. So it's okay. I don't need to know. That's fine. Okay, so this book was written in 2010 and he thinks the end of the world is 2022, but he does not seem to list a month or day. So he's leaving it open so that any day next year could be the time. So you have to be vigilant.
Yeah, you
like, have to be vigilant.
The way that you get to the fifth dimension is just by like opening your third eye. So basically you say QAnon is real. I've seen the truth. And then you get to the fifth dimension.
And then you get to the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
All right. Well, simple enough.
All right.
Well,
okay. Thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah,
do you want to do our sign off?
I do. BRB gotta go write a fanfic about Sunny June.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.